Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a demo video. The reason I hesitate there for a second is because I am going to be talking as well, and then I will also be showing you some of these techniques that I'm going to talk about. So this is going to answer all of your questions about Squish to Condish. I know all of you curly girls have heard about this before. You've probably done your research on it, and maybe it does or doesn't even work for you. Maybe you're struggling with trying to find the perfect technique or how to get it to work the best for you. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So before I get started, I know a lot of you like to see my outfit of the day, so I'm going to show you that. Okay, I got on my mermaid skirt. It's got ruffles on the bottom, and it blends into this bodysuit top that I have on. And of course I feel great, and it's just really fun. So anyway, oh yeah, and for my hair today, as you know, I have 2C3A curls, and today I've just brushed it all out with my fingers, and it's just all fluffy and just huge. I love it. You know, it doesn't have to be ringlety every day, and that's okay. Sometimes it's a time saver. Sometimes you're at the end of the week and you need to wash it, and you know what? Just fluff it out, so don't worry about it. In my curly hair Facebook private group called No Frizz 10 group, I'm able to talk to you guys more specifically, more one-on-one about your curls. And a lot of you have told me that Squish to Condish is tricky for you, and maybe you don't understand it exactly. So I'm going to just kind of rip the band-aid off here and give it to you straight. All right? This is my opinion on Squish to Condish. It doesn't work unless you do it just right. And that's the gist of it. So how do we do it just right? Well, it really is not correct to just take handfuls of water and scrunch and have water squirting out of your head everywhere. What is the point of that? You're wasting so much water. Why not just use the right amount? The other thing about Squish to Condish that oftentimes doesn't work is that what ends up happening is you just dilute all the product you put on your hair. You put on this nice, lavish, thick, creamy conditioner, then you turn your head over and you spray it with your nozzle in the shower, and you just start scrunching, and the next thing you know, you've completely watered down your product. When you do that, it's going to introduce a lot of frizz. I mean, you're counteracting the product that you're trying to put on your hair. Does that make sense? So we don't want to do that. We don't want to do anything that's unnecessary or counteractive, obviously. All right, so the best thing to remember when you're doing Squish to Condish is to use just the right amount of conditioner and water. That's really the gist of it. So it shouldn't be too difficult, but we come across a problem when our hair doesn't react the same from day to day, right? The weather's not always the same. The humidity level is not always the same. And sometimes we've gone longer in between washes or treatments. Sometimes we've used a certain product that maybe dried our hair out more than before. And maybe we used a hairspray or something that had some extra protein in it. And you know what? Our hair doesn't react the same. Some days it's drier than it is on other days. So one of the things that I teach you guys in my group, on my channel here, is to find out what your hair needs. And so I've given you the tools that you need to analyze your own hair. And that's what I do. Every time I get in the shower, before I put any products on my hair, I analyze my own hair. I use the wet stretch test so that I can know what my hair needs today. Also, before I do any refreshing on day 2, day 3 hair, I will wet my hair and do a wet stretch test on a couple of the shed hairs that come out, so I know exactly what my hair needs on every day before I apply product at any time. So you're going to have better results if you do that too. One of the specific questions that some of you have asked me was about how to get less frizz. We call it a halo, just at this part of our head, right? What we find that happens is we have our hair turned upside down, it's all wet in the shower, we're putting in our product and we're scrunching it. Every time we squeeze the curls up, our fingers go into a claw shape and actually grab the hair right here. And because of that, it kind of fans out the hairs right at the root. And so that's where you get that extra frizz right at the roots. For some people, it works okay. For me, I don't mind too much. Maybe I'm more careful at doing it, or maybe in conjunction with my other techniques like the pirouetting and everything, it doesn't counteract quite as much because I've already gotten really smooth clumps to begin with. But if you are one of the kind of people where you find out that scrunching like that is causing extra frizz, then what you can do instead is use just a completely flat hand when you scrunch your curls. So bring the curls up like this and just lay them flat. And you're going to do that all over your head, obviously, when you're doing your squish to condish. So that should really help you. But when you combine that with my other techniques that I teach you guys, like I was saying, then it'll really make a big difference with the frizz. So I'm not completely all for squish to condish. I honestly think that the thing you really need to consider is making sure that you're smoothing your hair and that you're getting the clumps through techniques like raking and pirouetting. That's what I stand by. Another thing I wanted to tell you about trying to avoid excess frizz and breaking apart the clumps when you're scrunching and everything is to make sure that the products you're using are not sticky. You want to make sure that before you start scrunching your hair that you have really slippery curls, not tacky or sticky. And if after you put the product on, it does feel tacky or sticky, then just add a little bit more water until it feels slippery. If it's still not working, get a different product, you know. The best product that I can tell you for making sure your hair is really slippery is Lulu lubricant. And as you know, who have been following me, that's one of my favorite products. You can go and watch the video about me using it here. But it's actually a lubricant, and you know what? It works great for your hair. It's curly girl friendly, and it will get your hair slippery. It works so well to lock the frizz down and to really smooth out those curls. So if you get a product like that in combination with your conditioner and you put it on, you know, after your conditioner and before your gel, you'll find a big improvement with the no frizz factor. And then for a lot of us who have layers in our hair, or not, I mean, when you turn your head upside down, what ends up happening is the hairs at your neck always seem a little bit shorter. So you just really need to spend extra time scrunching in different layers. So you're doing different sections of your hair. You start with the shortest layers at your neck and you move forward. So, you know, if you just flip your head over and scrunch once right here, you'll be missing all the hair at the back of your head, and that part will be extra frizzy. Especially when you turn your head over, it might look good right here, but then all this part will still be frizzy because you didn't pay attention to those layers that you have back here. My favorite technique when it comes to squishing to conditioning, all of these curly hair words, I don't know, you know, so if you guys are struggling with your curls, give my techniques a try.